Freedom Seekers, what is up? It's Monday morning, and that means it's time for another episode of Coffee and Cash. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in today. Really want to make sure that we provide you with a lot of value, so stay tight. Just remember, every single Monday morning, we're coming out with more and more of these videos. So take a quick second, like and subscribe this. Share this with anybody that you know that's in that affiliate marketing space that might have use for it. Every single Monday, we're trying to bring you information about new upcoming events that are happening. We're trying to show you some of the best offers on the Digistore24 platform and provide you a little bit of education along the way. Today, I've got 4 really great spiritual offers, right? Offers in that spiritual abundancy space. They're great offers. I'm really excited to share about them. We've never talked about them on the Coffee and Cash show. And at the end, we're gonna go ahead and talk about some of my favorite books for prepping you for success in business. Let's go ahead, let's jump into the best offers right now in the spiritual space that you should be promoting. Offer number 1, right? This is a super great one from a group called The Cosmos. It's Cosmic Manifestations Secrets. Listen to that name again. Cosmic Manifestations Secrets. Anything on the internet that has the word secret behind it tends to do well, right? It's a trendy word. It's a hashtag. Everybody wants to know what the secret is. And this offer does a great job of it, right? When people are trying to do good sales page, they try to do what we call open loops. They create questions, and the only way to find out the answer is by continuing with the sales page. They've got to get all the way to the end. That's where that buy now button happens. That's where the money is made. And these guys do a great job of it. Really excited to be working with them. It's new to the Digistore24 platform, and so you really ought to take a look at it. Their team is great. They sell a high quality product. People will be excited about it. Offer number 2. This is from the same people as that last offer, but it's been on the platform for a while now. It's called Find Their True Calling. Now, this is all about helping people figure out what's going on with life. That's what a lot of these people in the spiritual, the type of buyer wants, right? They're trying to find answers. They're sort of lost. They're looking for some sort of a sign to tell them what to do. And these guys do a great job of helping people figure that out. Find their true calling. Super cool offer. Make sure you peek at it. Offer number 3. This one is the number 1 spiritual offer on the Digistore24 platform. Now, if you're in the marketplace and looking for this, you're going to want to search highest converting ARCHETYPES product, killing it. So that is the name on the marketplace, but really this is a offer that helps people pick or figure out what archetype, what type of person they are. It's got a great sales page. This is from Individualist. Great offer, great group. It's been around for a while, so these numbers are successful, and we see that it just continues rolling and rolling and rolling. Besides this, they've got a ton of other products as well. This group, super great offer. The last one we're going to talk about, this one is from Marissa Peers. Now, if you don't know her, she is a very important figure, a persona in the space. A lot of people identify with her. She's done a lot of stuff with like Mind. And I was just talking to a guy and was sharing some of the numbers that as an affiliate they were spending on some of these type of guys, these personas, huge. So it's a great one to take a look at. This is her 21-day abundance challenge. And so a lot of these other products that we just shared are giving people something, but this challenge of Marissa Peers really drives people through it and helps them achieve something at the end of 21 days. So it's really a great one to couple with your audience if you've been providing them products that give them answers as to their numbers or things like these archetypes, all these sorts of things, but now they actually want action. They want to see something happening. This 21-day challenge is a great kicker to hit them with on the back end. And I think that's a great way to frame it is you have all these products, but have you put this stuff into play, right? You probably haven't started seeing changes in your life because you're not doing anything yet. Then you step in with Marissa's offer, the 21-day abundance challenge, and it really clears it. A lot of the guys that we talk with that are doing abundance stuff right now are seeing a lot of success worldwide, right? It's a very big audience, even outside of the US English audience. A lot of this spirituality stuff is even bigger, even stronger. And so we've been seeing people also take a lot of offers and they're bringing them now into other languages and being very successful. Lots of people are driving these via organic groups, via Instagram and social media followings where you have your own created following, where you put up quotes and reels that sort of inspire people, and then you pitch them on this offer. We see people buying media stuff. I mean, there's a lot of places where you can see this. Very successful. You just got to dive into it. I would highly suggest maybe exploring this. And one of the best things about this is the type of person that buys it is rarely disappointed, right? These are the type of people that are looking for these solutions actively. It's not a hard sell. Set them up with some pre-framing, whether that's through your organic stuff over time or whether it's a quick pre-lander and whatever you're doing with a quick hit, and then sell it to them. Really, really great offer. Let's go ahead. Let's move on now. Let's talk about what I said earlier about some of the books that I'm reading that help me and provide me with the most value. Now, I really think that there's such a thing as information overload. There are so many things you listen to on the daily. I'm listening to so many podcasts. I listen to them while I'm driving, while I'm working out, while I'm cooking, when I'm just like brushing my teeth, I'm listening to a podcast or an audiobook. And there's so much, but there's a handful of books that I come back to. And that's usually how I like to do it. Listen to everything and then grab one or two and say, hey, these are the ones that I come back to. And right now on my computer, I just went ahead and I pulled up my Audible screen. And so I can actually see all these books I've been reading through. And I want to talk about a handful of them. One of the number one that I'm really digging right now is a Joe Vitale book, The Attractor Factor. Now, he has a product on the Digistore24 platform, and I'm not just saying this because he's on the platform, but I really, really appreciated this book. If at any moment you're starting to feel stagnated, like you have a lot of barriers in front of you, things that you can't achieve, this is a great book for you. It gives a decent amount of actionable steps that you can take, but a big piece of it is mindset, right? It really crushes into you this idea. Now, there's two ways that you can look at this book. I think some people, when they look at the Attractor Factor, are going to come with a little bit more spiritual woo-woo in it, and they're going to look at it and say, okay, wow, is this the universe? I'm putting it into it. But then there's also more of a, what is the psychological? So even if you're not somebody who buys into the spiritual, the divine, the universe, but you're somebody who just digs psychology and science, you can look at what Joe's saying, peel back some of the talk about the universe and the divinity, and start saying, what are the psychological steps that when I take these things, I implement them, changes my actions? And that's the biggest thing. The Attractor Factor isn't about letting the universe, right? Like most people think the law of attraction is letting the universe just bring things to you, that you just say it and it happens. It's really about training your mind to be ready to receive the things that daily are happening around you that would bring you the success that you want. Next book up that I'm going to talk about is called Never Split the Difference. Never Split the Difference is a super interesting book, right? It's written by Chris Voss. He was a professional hostage negotiator at like a worldwide level. So when terrorists in the Philippines snag somebody, he would go in and have to talk them down. Now imagine the intensity of those negotiations. He's taken those negotiations, he shares them in his book, but then he takes them and he applies them to the world of business, right? So whether you're somebody who is trying to negotiate with a vendor to get a higher percentage, whether you're a vendor, right? You're an owner of a business and you're trying to negotiate with your employees to do more work for you. Whether you're an employee trying to get something out of your boss as far as like, I don't want to do this duty anymore, or if you're a vendor or an affiliate and you're trying to get, right? You're trying to get somebody to give you money and open up your wallet. This is a lot of great psychology. One of the most interesting things I think I found from this book is the way he talks about is you need to let them give you the solution. When you're trying to negotiate something and they say, hey, I want you to do this, one of the common questions that he comes back with is, how am I supposed to do that? And one of two things will happen. If it's a reasonable request, they'll have an idea of how you could achieve it and they'll tell it to you. They just did for you like 50% of the work. If it's not reasonable, if they can't figure out how should I do this, maybe they'll start realizing that's not doable and the negotiation begins. Next, $100 million offers, right? Alex Hormozi. This is a super, super, super great book. What I really love about it, right, it's not necessarily that everything is revolutionary, but that it's very direct, right? And that's one of the things I love about the way he talks and frames things. It's a very direct, these are the actionable steps. Put all these things in your offer, right? Sell your offer. There's no beauty or crazy like rah-rah stuff in there. It's just, this is what you got to do it and get it done. And Alex Hormozi, personally in his business, one of the reasons that he was so successful wasn't because of his marketing, wasn't because he was here, let me show you how you can frame a product as $100 million offer, right? It was, he created a product that really was successful. And I personally had experience with that. And when he he tells you in this book is a lot of it is create the offer. Actually create the product that is worth that. And then just know how to market it. It makes it so much easier than trying to come up with how am I going to market this thing to be of this value, but slap it on a piece of crap, right? It really, really is a great offer. Last one I'm going to talk to you guys about, everybody does it. I don't even know why I'm going to mention it. I know you've all read it before. Obviously, .com Secrets. I think .com Secrets, we all know, is a super, super great, well-written book. Again, it's a lot like what Alex did with very actionable steps, but it talks a lot about things that you just need to remember. And I think 90% of the things that we do within businesses, we already know what to do. So going and looking for the next thing isn't moving the needle. We just need to be reminded, hey, I forgot I'm not doing that thing anymore. And we plug it back in and all of a sudden we're successful. That's the reason people hire personal trainers or personal coaches. Half the time, the coach is a guy and he's just telling you what you already know and holding you accountable to it. I know Bedros Keuilian, I think it's Bedros Keuilian, the founder of Fit Body Bootcamp, right? He's more successful than his coach, but his coach is able to identify this is what you stopped doing, now do it. And so that's the reason he brought him in as his business coach, right? He just needs that person to say, this is what you're not doing, do it. And so when you're listening to a book like .com Secrets, it's the very basic of the basic, but it'll remind you of the one thing that maybe you stopped doing that you can start doing again. And that's what, turns on the faucet. That's what puts the lighter fluid on the fire to really start it growing. So those are some of my favorite books for business, the ones that I'm listening on repeat. Besides that, I've got a handful of like weird fantasy books in here, anything by Brandon Sanderson I like. So if you're just looking to kick back and relax, that's it. And for me, it's very interesting. I spent so much time diving into just business, that I think a part of me, the part that like was enjoyable, that was fun, like I was always a big motivational guy. I started feeling like that wasn't there. And then I got back into like these interesting fantasy sagas and they started reminding me, okay, like I love this stuff. And so I think it's really important to not just listen to like 4 business books on repeat. Every once in a while, you got to throw in a little bit of entertainment in there. Don't feel guilty, but find books that inspire you to be a better person, to achieve more, to have more drive, whether that's geeky fantasy stuff like I like, or mystery novels or romance novels or whatever it is. Cool. So 5 things that I'm reading, check those out. If you've got any books that you really would suggest to the audience, do us a favor, drop them in the description or chat in there. Let us know what you're reading so maybe I can go ahead and take a peek and I can level up as well. Make sure, like and subscribe. We'll see you next Monday. And until then, open minds, open hearts, open wallets.